Wednesday.
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome to your Wednesday. Thanks for being a part of the program. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah, Jensen, Alex Annapolis, our producer. Welcome to your Wednesday. As you get ready for Week 10 of college football, what are the things that are the most intriguing about? Actually, let me ask you this, JJ. What's the most shocking thing that has happened at a national level this year in college football?
Most shocking?
Most shocking thing that's happened at a national level.
Probably the Brian Kelly saga
football
that's playing out right now.
Really?
Did you think he was going to be fired midseason? LSU was a top 10 team.
Yeah.
You think about it in that context, that's incredibly shocking.
So,
I mean, he's a piece of crap. He's a terrible human being. We all know that. But as long as you're winning, nobody cares, right?
You should have seen our producer Alex's face when you said that. There was this part of him that went, am I supposed to dump that?
He's a well-documented bad human being. Even his former players say he's a terrible person. He just wins. He won at Notre Dame. He's been winning at LSU.
Brian Kelly, his next interview. Were you a giant piece of crap? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I used to be a piece of crap. Not anymore.
You're not anymore? No. What does that mean you used to be? Well, sloppy steaks. Sloppy steaks, white linen pants. Oh, yeah, listen.
Do you have another one that tops that? I'm trying to think of something more shocking.
I think that
Indiana being number 2 in the country
Indiana being
is
number
shocking.
2. I think the fact that Vanderbilt,
They're
by the
winning
way,
Autzen. Penn State's collapse.
Oh, I think the Penn State collapse and the firing of James Franklin is actually more shocking than the Brian Kelly one. Penn State was number 4 3 games into the season. Penn State was in the national semifinal last year. Penn State, well, I won't go there. Didn't fire coaches when they should have. Right?
I mean, they covered up the biggest scandal in
okay,
probably our country's history.
It's not related, and yet pretty hard not
to. It's part of their past. They can't run away from it.
Yeah, and I think that part of you can't go, and I'm not like I'm trying to saddle Penn State with something that they haven't already had to hear a bunch of the past couple decades, but James Franklin is a well-documented, like, his players freaking love him.
Not a piece of crap.
And his recruits.
By all accounts, a great man.
Right, and his recruits go to Penn State because of him. And then they end up, and you know what he does? Cheers those freaking guys on forever. So that's the thing is when a guy leaves, how many people came out of the woodwork to praise Brian Kelly? I don't think we've seen one.
Not one soul.
When James Franklin did, it's people coming out of the woodwork.
Parsons.
Yeah, they're coming out of the woodwork and they're saying, here's what made James Franklin special for me. It was like eulogizing the guy.
Right.
So from that perspective, the coaching thing, yeah, Indiana being number 2, I would dare say that Vanderbilt, according to odds makers, having a 62% chance of making the college football playoff. Wake me up. Go back in time and tell 2021 JJ and Alex that Diego Pavia, you're like the kid from New Mexico?
Right.
Would be leading Vanderbilt after getting an extra year of football because he told the NCAA to stuff it. He doesn't care about the time that he played the junior college level. He needs to be able to play this level. That he was going to lead Vanderbilt. If Vanderbilt makes the college football playoff, that would be the stunner of all stunners in my lifetime of college football, I think. Indiana did it last year, right? And so you kind of go, if they do it again this year, you're going, well, then it's not fake. So for me, those are the shocking national ones. Maybe I'm missing on any of them. Maybe it's that all the names, we did it again to ourselves. All the names that we threw out there for the Heisman Trophy at the beginning of the year, flush them all down the toilet. Not one of them has worked out. Drew Aller, May he rest.
Yeah, Arch Manning's probably been the biggest shock is not having the impact that everyone thought he was going to have.
That actually probably was the biggest flop, right?
As far as who were the Heisman Trophy frontrunners? Klubnik,
Aller,
and Manning.
Klubnik, Manning.
All
who else?
Well below expectations.
Who's the guy? Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Right? And now look at the list. Everyone was like, I don't even know if Ty Simpson's even going to start at Alabama. He's second best odds. Best odds in the entire country, just like you had Fernando Mendoza. Of course. And then guess what? He looks like his twin brother, but he's not. Alberto Mendoza is the backup, and he looks the exact same, and he'll probably just pick up where his brother left off. So those are your top two Heisman. By the way, not to like if you have 20,001 odds in the Heisman race and you're listed like 17th, like slow your roll because the last like 5 guys are 1 in 20,000.
Right.
But one of those guys is Bear Bachmeier. Isn't that funny?
And you know what?
Bear Bachmeier's on the list.
Where's Bear rank on the stories?
He's now
the top story in all of college football.
All of college football.
This is the top 10 team in the country right now.
It is. All of college football. I don't know if it cracks the interest level necessarily.
Absolutely should.
I get it.
Gus Johnson just did a little bit with them.
Why did Gus
He's
have
getting
to,
national
Why
attention.
was Gus wearing that outfit? Was he a beat boy? Was he a b-boy? Was he going to dance?
Nothing like a 70-year-old guy dressing up like a 25-year-old guy.
In a tracksuit.
Love it.
I think I sold that exact outfit to somebody when I was working at Champs in the late 90s.
Oh, man.
At the mall. So
hey, everything comes back.
All right.
Just hold on
to
it
Bachmeier,
for a while.
from a national level, from a national perspective, he's the number one story, right? From a local level.
Oh, 100%.
He's
Bear
the number one
Bachmeier
story.
is the best story of the year in Utah college football. Not even close.
And we still have 4 games left. It's great. Now, one of the wrinkles that's been added, well, we should probably start the show off officially, Alex Annapolis. Is that all right? Do I have your permission? Okay. Let's start the show off officially here. Then we'll get the P's and Q's figured out, and we'll dot the I's and cross the T's. Let's get it going with the cut, and we'll jump in right here officially on the show.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
By far the worst flavor of Lifesaver is the butter rum or the butterscotch or whatever it is.
We can't be friends.
JJ's over here with Lifesavers that my grandma would approve of. May she rest.
That's what it does. It reminds me of grandma's.
It's not Werther's, but it's like in the same category.
It's the butter rum Lifesaver.
Butter rum Lifesaver. Yeah, kids are knocking your door down and be like, "You have any more of those Lifesavers, Mr. Jensen, for Halloween?" I don't think so. Which ones? The light brown.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
Do you have any more of those light brown Lifesavers, sir? What's scotch?
You laugh until you pop it in your mouth.
What's scotch, Mr. Jensen?
What's rum?
What's rum? Well, ask your mom and dad. All right?
They probably don't even know.
Anyway, terrible candy choice, but God bless you. We're getting to the show.
They were free.
So, Kyle Whittingham, I know this is going to be a shocker to you because one of the wrinkles this year has been the injury report stuff. And I will tell you that the injury report, all the things that go along with it, none of us know how it's actually supposed to be handled. You know why? Because there aren't actually really any clear and specific rules except for that you should list guys if they're going to be on it. Now, I asked you this last week when I was like, remember when they listed Devin Dampier as probable, and then on Saturday they went, nope.
Game time decision.
Yeah, but listed as probable, and then they go, all right, now he's not going to play. If you do that in the NFL, you kind of get hosed. You got to be a little bit more specific. You have to say questionable. You can't say probable and then not play him. You can't do it. You can't list him as out after being probable. You have to have a little bit more of a and look, the spirit in which this is intended is actually the wrong spirit of why we're doing this in the first place. Nobody likes the fact that gambling has had such an impact on the sport that we're catering to gamblers with these injury reports. However, everybody has these same things that they have to live by now. And the Big 12 is really funny because they're having this conversation right now about like, hey, so what are you doing in your injury report? What do you say in your injury report? Well, now Brett McMurphy. Oh man, I love this so much. Sorry, I have to crack a smile while I'm saying this. Brett McMurphy polled some anonymous athletic directors And then we start to guess.
Do you think you know who this athletic director might be?
I don't know. Honestly, you can really say, oh no, for sure, it's this person, it's that person. The natural instinct is to go, oh, an anonymous AD calling out Utah, got to be Brian Santiago. Now, is Brian Santiago an insane competitor? Yes. Is Mark Harlan an insane competitor? I think so. We would probably put him in that category. I don't think that it necessarily has to be Brian Santiago. I think there are a lot of athletic directors who are trying to live the letter of what the NCAA and the Brett Yormark, this is a conference deal.
Yes.
What the conference is saying to do with these availability reports. But here's the anonymous AD calling out Coach Whittingham. Whittingham has done it multiple times this year. If you're actually taking the sanctity of these availability reports that you as a conference have installed, you should take them more seriously. There should be some sort of repercussion. He's outright lying and manipulating reports. That's ridiculous. Can I quote you on that? No. Just put me down as Craig. Just put me down as anonymous. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it's being disingenuous. I love the word sanctity in an availability report. Settle down a little bit.
Jeez.
That's a bit much. But do you think that Kyle Whittingham is? We knew that they were going to try to go along. This is the first go at it. This is the first draft of trying to figure this out. They might make coaches be a little bit more succinct in how they do this, and a little bit more like, hey, this is how you actually have to do it. Did Kyle Whittingham put that Lander Barton was considered out for the first half on the availability report? And we all knew, of course, he had to sit out for one half. It wasn't an injury. We know what he was out for. That was a little bit of a blank you to the conference, right? Or at least to the other coaches. So is he manipulating these reports? Is he just going by the fact that this is a weird thing that we have to do, and I'm not really a fan of doing it, so here's your little list, and I'll just go along with it?
I'll answer your question by saying he's giving the league the bare minimum he has to stay out of trouble, because he's a ultra competitor and he's not going to give out any information he doesn't have to. So is he giving everybody everything? Of course not. He was never going to. Is he kind of making light of it by doing this way? Sure, why not? I know he hates it. It's just another thing he's got to do. But let me ask this question to everybody listening. Do you care about the injury report? Does it matter to you? Do you need to know whether Devin Dampier is questionable or probable or not playing at all for Saturday's game? Does that impact your choice to buy a ticket or to sell your tickets? Does it matter to you? Us in the media, does it matter to us? Do we really? We've gone without injury reports covering college football in my entire time here. Has it ever been a big deal? Let me just share that the only big deal it is when we're evaluating performance and we're evaluating the current state of a program. It helps us make a fair and accurate evaluation with the more information that we know. So, case in point, Texas Tech game. Did Devin Dampier play good against Texas Tech? No, not at all. It was extremely disappointing. So you're left to criticize the poor performance. Where was the run game that he's known for? How come his passes were short? Knowing that he had a injured ankle changes how you evaluate that performance. Oh, sure. He's injured. What a gutsy performance. He went out there and gave it the best he could. It wasn't good enough, but of course it wasn't. He was injured. Outside of that, I don't care. I want to come here on the radio and be accurate about what we're evaluating and saying, but ultimately that's it. I don't care about their injury report. It's the only people that really care are the people that are gambling on the games, and that's not good. So if people are getting screwed over by injury situations because you're gambling, you're kind of asking for that. I don't feel bad for you at all. I'm sorry, I don't. That's the risk you take by throwing cash down on a game. The whole thing's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen, and that's why it's such a dang rush, and that's why you love it. You don't know. That's why it's such a high and such a low. Yep. Such a high when you win and such a low when you lose. So I don't care about what information people get for their gambling. I'm sorry. So ultimately, this stuff is just kind of ridiculous to me.
That's what the athletic director, the unnamed athletic director, is like. He screwed me so many times on that.
Unless the athletic director was betting on the game.
That's what I'm saying. No way.
Did you bet on Colorado to cover on Saturday?
Did you not know that they were going to roll out a healthy quarterback when you thought Dampier was hurt?
Curse you, Whittingham.
If Dampier played, we would have covered, and I would have made some cash.
The bookie shows up.
Right. Like the Colorado AD's got a really tough explanation.
Ridiculous.
He's got to give it to his wife. Look, I don't care ultimately outside of the things I mentioned, and those are minor things. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm fine with Kyle Whittingham just being like giving it a middle finger. I don't care. I get why he would. Put yourself in his position. It's just another thing he's got to worry about. He doesn't want you to have any more information than you already have because he's trying to win. And here's the honest truth. Football's not an honest game. Is there any sport that's honest?
I do think it's funny.
Literally these coaches have spent millions of dollars to come up with a scheme.
Right.
If you come up with a scheme in business, you're a criminal. Right? Like these coaches, they work hard to create deception, to hide things, to make things unavailable to the other team in order to give them a competitive advantage. So, of course, he's going to try to keep a competitive advantage here. And, of course, he's going to do as little as he can to help these injury report situations. And unless the conference is going to put some teeth into this, he's going to continue to do it. And, listener, do you care? Utah fan, do you care?
So, here's the here are the participation status categories according to the Big 12. Okay. It says the participation status goes like this. So what does out mean? 0% chance they're going to play, right? Doubtful means it's a 25% chance that they'll play. Questionable is a 50% chance that they'd play. So 50. This is according to what the leagues. I'm looking at their website in the report at the reporting home, and it's a PDF of 5 pages of how this policy works. Okay. Probable means a 75% chance that they would play, and then available 100% chance they're going to dress and they're going to be able to play. Game time decision is one that happens. That's the 90 minutes before. So you either have available game time decision or out. Those are the only 3 you can pick on game day of those deals. So they have to submit these. Here's the act in good faith part of the of the PDF that I think the word sanctity was probably used a little bit too. If the word sanctity is used, does that automatically make it
sanctity
a BYU
and
guy?
Gambling in the same situation.
Does that make it a BYU athletic director if they use the word sanctity? Okay, I'm just wondering. Act in good faith. So here's what it says. Institutional personnel are required to comply with this policy in good faith. Actions designed to conceal a student athlete's actual participation status for strategic or competitive purposes are not allowed. Gray area at the very least. That, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, conduct that could be interpreted as misleading or causing confusion about an athlete's participation status is also not permitted. And then they ask you to avoid inconsistent public comments. Institutional staff, coaches, athletic trainers, sports information personnel, etc., must not publicly comment on a student's availability in ways that contradict the availability report. Yeah, no, he should be good to go. He's listed as questionable, right? Listed as out. Oh, I hope he's playing. He's been practicing this week. Excuse you? So they don't
have to disclose whether somebody's practicing.
I know.
Or not.
Here's the enforcement part. The conference office holds the authority to investigate potential violations of this policy. This includes, but is not limited to, engaging with relevant institutional personnel and student athletes, as well as reviewing pertinent practice footage. They'll go back and look. He was limping. He was in a boot all week. I got it on film right here. Could you imagine? Coach Whittingham, submit your practices this week on film. What? Yeah, we want to see what happened. I want to see what type of participation Devin Dampier had. That's the type of power the conference does have. They want to make sure. The thing is that submitting that deal, as they said, they need to figure out what the line actually is. Because saying it needs to be in good faith means that they're asking you to be kind of on your scout's honor, right? That you're doing it with the right intentions, okay? And if they're listed as out, they can't play. If they're listed as probable and they don't play, we may have, I don't know. I mean, things can happen, right? That's what you say as coaches. Yeah, some things came up. We didn't like how it looked. We thought he was going to play, and then he didn't. You know? So it's just funny. It's just another dumb thing that we're getting involved with the world of following college football, right? Like,
the closer that college football gets to pro sports and the more that gambling is embraced and involved in the game. By the way, student athletes can now bet on games. Is that correct? Can we talk about that?
NCAA, you can. There's some guidelines on pro sports betting.
There you go.
That the NCAA is allowing.
So as long as those things continue to go in the direction they're going, then that's kind of where we're at with this, and you have to embrace that. Now, I'll mention the NFL handles this all the time and has been for a long time because it's very important to the NFL and the integrity of the game that they have. They are very transparent with injuries because of the gambling situation with the NFL that has existed for a long time, and that's why those policies are in place. But even this week, like the Ravens are in trouble with Lamar Jackson's situation with practicing, et cetera, and not being forthright with information. So it's even happening at the NFL level where these coaches are trying to prevent that information from getting out. So the only way to drop the hammer is fines, financial.
Right.
So if the Big 12 is really serious about this and it matters to them that much, they're going to have no choice but to fine a coach like Kyle Whittingham who's not coming forth with accurate information. That's what the league.
Yeah.
If the league wants to enforce this, they really have to enforce it.
Right.
They got to put some teeth behind it. They're going to have to start fining coaches and schools.
Yeah, but he's also going to be able to say, and I think Kyle Whittingham would be well within his right to go, no, I played your game. I played along.
And as long as he checks the boxes of everything that they require, then that's exactly how it'll be.
Now, there are guys like Kyle Whittingham who are going to say, all right, well, what do I actually have to do? Where's that line there? You know?
They towed that line on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Was technically Devin Dampier available? Yes, he was dressed on the sidelines. He's warmed up before the game. He did.
Remember when
they followed every protocol.
Remember at Wazoo last year? I mean, that about sent everyone through the dadgum roof on the broadcasting side of things.
Oh, in 2022?
Was it 22 or 23?
Oh, yeah. No, that was Cam Rising.
Cam Rising at Wazoo.
Yeah, Cam, it was...
He's out there throwing the ball, and everyone's like, okay.
Even the Fox broadcast crew thought Cam Rising starting. All of a sudden, you go out there, they pull the camera in the huddle, and all of a sudden, the offensive linemen go up to the line, and you're like, that's not Cam Rising, that's Bryson Barnes. They show Cam Rising on the sideline. Hey, warmed up. Oh. Cam didn't play a second in that game. Nope. We wouldn't go into. Fox was furious. They were furious. Did he do the same thing against Florida? It was stark in the Washington State game because he was out there. He trotted out there with 20 minutes before the game. Yeah, that was bad. It was egregious. And he starts throwing the ball around, and he goes, easy go. It was so bad that their broadcast partner did not have the information. Yes. And you don't tick off your broadcast partner. They were like, And it was funny to listen to. Checks. Who's the Fox guy that does it? Papadakis? Yep. And he goes, and he's like, I'm going to be honest, we were told something totally different. You know, and you're like, all right. So this isn't that. Kyle Whittingham's having to be a little bit more transparent than that. But guess what? That you could still technically get away with. And what were you going to do? Find him? No, all you do is walk by him and go, thanks a lot, dude. Like, we're trying to put a broadcast together. And he goes, don't care. What was your name again? I don't know who you are. You'll get that. So, but that's certainly, as you can see, if you're a gambler, that's information that you really want to have. But other than that, it's not life or death for anybody. It's not a big deal. Hey, anonymous athletic director, get some guts and put your friggin' name on it. No way. Speaking of withholding information, I know. Isn't it fun? Isn't it ironic that an athletic director is criticizing Kyle Whittingham for withholding information, and then the athletic director withholds his name from the report? Well, here's my question. That's like just that's so do thick. The math. Do the math. That's so thick. The anonymous athletic director. What are the odds that it is the Baylor athletic director? You know, like just do the math at it. They haven't played Baylor yet. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, see, the Houston athletic director just can't believe this. He's had enough. Other teams that neither team is playing. It's time to put your foot down on Utah. Kansas State shows up. How dare you, coach?
You guys aren't even playing us this year.
Why are you
I
letting
know,
the
I know.
Utes get away with this?
Oh, my gosh. All right. This portion of the show brought to you by Trajan Wealth, TRAJANwealth.com. That's Trajan Wealth for all your trusted local needs in retirement. It is TrajanWealth.com. Let's come back, and we will take a break. I think today's a Win Ticket Wednesday, isn't it? You know what that means? We've got stuff to give away on a Win Ticket Wednesday you don't want to miss out on. We've got all sorts of fun to have. And let's get in next, talking a little bit about this Mammoth hockey team who last night hit the ice and finally ran into a little bit of a wall there after period one. We'll talk about that and much more. The more important thing, though, is how long are you signing up those young kids to be part of your team? Logan Cooley, a record signing for the young kid. He's going to be in Utah for a long time. We'll talk about that next. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
The exclusive home of the Utah Mammoth is on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Tough matchup for the Mammoth here tonight, but Gunther steps in, left the puck behind him, pass across, Cooley shoots and scores! The kids came to play! Logan Cooley up top, Bouchard. This way, Wallman, left circle, he shoots, kicked away, and they score, and it's Leon Draisaitl. Out ahead comes McDavid, and he shoots and scores into the empty net. Connor McDavid gets his second goal of the game, his third of the year, an empty netter to make it 6-3.
You're locked into JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen. Thanks for being a part of the program. Now, here's what we've got. Hot and cold, of course. Today brought to you by the good folks of Enbridge Gas. Prep for winter. Get a furnace inspection from a certified heating contractor to check for safety and efficiency. A reminder from Enbridge Gas. Get it done today. Hot and cold. I will not say that this is a cold team, the Utah Mammoth, yet. They lost one game after winning 7 in a row. Felt like they hit that wall, JJ. Like, man, this has been a good run. There was a moment in last night's game. That first period was phenomenal.
Well,
they get a goal. They get a fantastic goal from Logan Cooley, who showed some amazing patience and really cleaning up. What ended up being kind of a miscue by Gunther, and Gunther still was able to get that nice pass off. Cooley waited to the right moment and put that thing top right shelf. Beautiful goal. J.J. Peterka on a phenomenal pressure situation from the defense, pushing that puck away. Peterka gets up the ice, top left shelf. It was as good as it gets. And then they just played solid defense against a couple of the best hockey players in the world, and Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, who ended up putting their stamp on the game by the end of it because they got 5 goals, the Oilers did, in just the second period, adding an empty netter by McDavid at the end. You had Draisaitl with 3 points last night. You had Connor McDavid with a couple goals. He's only had 3 on the season. 2 of them came last night. Now, that's a team that's gone to the Western Conference Finals and won it the past 2 years, JJ.
Yeah, they've been in the Cup the last 2 years.
They've been in the Stanley Cup Final the last 2 years. They have a couple of the best players in the world.
2 of the top 5.
They're at their barn. Those are kind of things that happen to add up to be a loss for your team. This team's 8-3. Fine. The big win of the day has nothing to do with anything on the ice. It has to do with Logan Cooley and the extension, of course, that he inked today. 8 years, $10 million per. Not a bad way to get things started if you're 20-ish. Is he 21 yet?
He is.
21. He just turned 21. Drinks on him tonight. Okay, team? Logan Cooley today at the press conference. It was rolled out at the practice facility, and SEG, Ryan Smith, talking about this kid. Anytime that this hockey club or anytime this hockey team gets talked about the way that they do by Ryan Smith, and SEG goes after it and they talk about the type of commitment, it's one thing to say that you're committed. It's another to be sitting at a facility that you have purpose built for them and customized for them, and be sitting with one of them who you expect to be part of the future, and signing over $80 million to a kid, because he's worth every dang penny of it. Here's what Logan Cooley said about the contract extension that he got today, $8 million, times 10, not a bad way to get things going.
I'd like to thank Bill, Bear, Luds, Chris for everything you guys have done for me. And, I love it here. It's, the best time I've had playing hockey. The fans, the facilities we have are second to none. And, I think just the team we have with Gunther, Keller, Sergey, the core we have here, it's a special group. And I'm excited to add to that. And, I think the way we're playing and the team we have, we're going to be a dangerous team to stop.
Don't go by just off of the sound of his voice. He's excited. All right. When you watch Logan Cooley score goals and then they go over to the side and they show him, it looks like someone just took his lunch. He scores a goal and he goes over and just goes, cool. I mean, that guy has got ice in the veins. And he looks every bit of only the 21 years old that he is, by the way. Looks like he can barely grow a mustache. And when he gets on the ice, he looks like here's the thing. When you watch Connor McDavid play, there's a stark difference of other people skating around him, right? He has this black hole quality to him where the gravity of the whole ice just kind of gets sucked toward him.
You saw last night.
And
that goal he scored.
And Logan Cooley is the same way. He's not as big, obviously, as a guy like Connor McDavid.
But he's faster.
He is like my kids can see number 92 before they see the 92 on the jersey. You know what I mean? They see him flying up the ice. No one has that speed. And so you're paying for elite scoring ability, which he's already shown young in his career, and then this year has just been phenomenal. Added a couple more last night. They didn't get the win, but they're 8-3 on the season. And it's a great way to start things off here. I think everybody has this thought in their head like, hey, look, had a bad night on the defensive end for those last two periods, for certainly the second period. I'm not worried about that. What you're worried about is how long can you keep a team and a core together that's going to win long term? Logan Cooley is a huge part of that. How much did they sign up for Dylan Gunther on his extension? 8 years also?
Similar number, yes.
7 years, 8 years? You're talking about guys. You've signed them up for the prime of their career.
He's 8-year, $57.14 million.
You've signed them up for the prime of their careers.
Dylan Gunther might be the best deal in hockey. My gosh.
Here's the thing. All these deals. An 8-year deal at 10 per.
7.14 average annual value.
And you know what's funny is that 7.1 was an insane number 4 or 5 years ago. You would never, well, are you kidding? We're getting to that point? Like, Ovechkin, I think, at one point got 11 or 12 or 13 million. Some of the highest paid guys in the league are going to get 10, 11, 12. And that's insane, right? But getting $8 million per for the next, or $10 million per for the next 8 years is huge because you're going to get Logan Cooley all the way up till he's 29 at least. And I bet you're going to see him play his friggin' guts out, and he's going to be playing awesome. And then you're going to see him get re-upped again when he's 25 and a half. Right? That's how this works. You know why? Because in 3 or 4 years, $8 million a year is going to look really like a bargain like crazy for a guy who's playing well. That's how these work. It works like that in every sport. And if his agent's worth anything, he'll come to him and go, hey, look, the market value for a guy like this now is actually X. Right? And you know what? If he's good and if he's part of this team and if he's a phenomenal teammate on top of being a guy who's going to be a good goal scorer and an awesome player on this team and an all-star level guy, then pay him. I'm already saying re-up his next one. That's how far down the line I've gotten. So a tremendous ad, I think, for this team. And if you're following the Mammoth at all and you're watching what makes this team special, he's a huge part of that. That top line for this team is unbelievable right now at the age that they are. So is this going to be the year they get into the playoffs? Maybe. But you can guarantee when you sign up a guy like him that you're giving yourself a way better shot in the future for being able to punch your ticket as well. That's why they do it.
The Utah Mammoth now have a core locked in long-term that will allow them to compete for a Stanley Cup championship. That's how talented these young guys are. And then you add in to the mix everybody else that's involved, and you got a team that's on the rise. And it's not just us who follow it every day that are noticing that. So a lot of national writers and national media members who cover the NHL are taking notice of the Utah Mammoth and realizing that this is a problem for the entire league. this is a team that's going to be competing for a long, long time together. And it just feels like eventually they're going to be able to break through. And it's apples and oranges, but I want to bring this up because it gives you some insight on where this team is and why fans of the Utah Mammoth should be so excited. In the same building, you have the Utah Jazz. Now, the Utah Jazz are obviously in a rebuild. There's a lot of young talent on that team, but do you know anything about the young talent? Do you have any reference point that would say that the Jazz have the pieces in place that they would need to eventually make a Stanley Cup run, an NBA championship run? No, we have no idea. In fact, I would say quite the other direction is I think there's still a feeling like, no, they don't have it, and that's why they need to go in the lottery again and try to get that player still. You have the complete opposite feeling with the Mammoth. You know, based on the results that we've seen on the ice so far this season with these young guys together, that this is something special. You can see it, you can feel it, and it's showing in the results. It's showing in the standings. I don't think any of us expected the Mammoth to be this good early on. We expected them to be in the mix, but did you expect them to lead the NHL in points nearly a month into the season?
No.
Of course not.
No.
So they're ahead of schedule. And to see this today, that was one of the biggest concerns we had. What did we ask Bill Armstrong when he was in here in the studio? We had to ask him about the Cooley contract situation. It was like this little tiny cloud in a very sunny sky that was over this franchise, and now that's completely gone. What's holding this franchise back from making a run to a Stanley Cup? Probably not this year. But pretty soon. And the entire league is noticing that they are going to be in a position to compete because the word is out that this new ownership group is serious. And that they're going to give this franchise everything they need to be able to compete. And they're going to take care of these guys on the roster.
How do you think this would have gone?
And they proved it. Ryan and Ashley backed it up with their cash this morning. They're going to do everything they can to bring a Stanley Cup to this town, and they're backing it up with their money. They're backing it up with their actions, and that's exactly what happened this morning.
How do you think this would have gone over when Cooley's agent and he would have sat down with the Morellos?
Never would have happened. You know what Morello would have told Bill Armstrong? You know what Morello would have told Bill Armstrong?
We can't afford that.
You're going to have to
Let's trade him.
You're going to have to trade Logan Cooley.
What could we get in return for him?
Can you imagine what that must be like for
That'd be
Bill Armstrong?
awful.
And fortunately for him, he doesn't have to deal with that. You draft and you develop a talent like Logan Cooley, and your owner says, "Yeah, I'm not paying $10 million a year for this kid for the next 8 years." Trade him. Get us some draft picks. Oh my gosh! Back to my point about Ryan and Ashley Smith saying, "No. Those days are over. We want a cup. We're all in." Logan Cooley sees it. That's as close as you're going to get to a smile from Logan Cooley ever than what you saw this morning. He knows.
How do you think he was feeling on that flight last night? They're like, "Guys, we lost. Everybody," you know, when you're on the bus when you're coming home from a loss, and the coach is like, "Hey, shut up, everybody. Don't talk."
That was awful. I got to go to bed early tonight. Go sign my
Cooley's like,
my
"You guys,"
$80 million contract.
He's flying and he's getting texts and he's like looking at the guys and he's going, I can spend a lot of time with these dudes.
Yeah.
I get to spend a lot of time with these guys, and I hope we can win a lot of games. That's what I think he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you sign up for something like this. Anyway, all right. Good for him. There's your hot and cold segment. Logan Cooley's definitely hot right now. The Mammoth are still, even after the loss last night at Edmonton, they come back again, and they've got themselves do they have a Sunday night matchup over here at Delta Center?
Sunday afternoon, the Lightning.
Sunday afternoon. So that's going to be a fun one. And I think the Lightning come to town. Yeah, like you said, the Lightning, they're pretty darn good, but we'll see. I don't know where they're at this season in the East, but whenever the Lightning come to town, that's one of those teams that Bear always says,
he has a lot of respect for them.
We model kind of how we do things, or we see what they do, and we like what they do.
The Lightning, by the way, just 10 points. They're 4-4-2.
Which is basically what Edmonton was last night, right?
Correct.
So
don't look into that too
Yeah.
much. It's going to be a battle.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got more to go around the corner. I've got a Would You Rather on a Wednesday edition of the program. Stay here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports on Alex Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen. I was looking at one of these renderings, JJ.
Oh, you found some renderings.
3D renderings.
Ooh. Whose 3D renderings were
Remember
these?
back when 3D meant something? Like, we would say 3D and be like, oh. And then whatever.
Do I need to put my glasses on?
Whatever the 3D thing was, sucked. When every movie was in 3D. Well, the movie's in 3D.
Remember when ESPN
you're wearing
had a
a
3D?
blue and you're like, this movie's going to be great. How do I know? I'm wearing a blue and a red lens over my eyes. It's going to make my experience go great. And the things that come out of the screen, like, I mean.
Do you remember ESPN 3D?
No, I do not.
You don't?
No.
Yeah.
I think I probably put it out of my head. But, okay.
Remember when they tried to make the new big screen TVs like to make 3D a thing with these TVs?
All right, now that I'm understanding because my
It's
in-laws.
like 12 years. It's like 15 years.
It wasn't
ago.
that long ago. It was basically like the TV's version of Laserdisc, where it was like, these giant DVDs are going to be awesome. And like people bought it way too early. We had a Laserdisc, and my dad. I think
If you had Laserdisc back when Laserdisc came out, you were rich.
it was like the kids with these big old laser discs, and you're like, what do you have? What do you have on it? Okay, we had Rattle and Hum. The U2 on tour, Rattle and Hum.
Probably paid $30 for it.
I don't know what. And I watched it multiple times because we had the player, and we got rid of it after 2 years because it was like, that's not a thing. What was there? Blu-ray, and what was the other one? Purple Town. There was whatever there was Blu-ray, and it was there were two types of DVDs. There was like a Blu-ray one and then like a ultraviolet or something like that, right? Wasn't there like and Blu-ray won out? It was like basically like a beta versus VHS kind of a battle.
Yeah.
And anybody like yourself who's in TV goes, well, beta's actually way
We
better.
use beta in TV,
It's
not
way
VHS.
it's higher quality.
Oh,
but
100% was.
from an at-home perspective. The smaller VCR was more
Laserdisc
important.
goes way back to the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, that's okay.
And then blew away VHS,
Okay,
but
so my
the
in-laws-
DVD beat it out because it was cheaper.
My in-laws got sucked into an RC Willey 3D TV that was massive,
Oh, man.
and you had to have the glass, and the glasses were like $80 a piece too.
Right, yeah.
They had to have batteries in them,
Yes.
and there were like 9 movies that were 3D, and you'd watch those 9 movies and you'd be like, "That's so cool." We may have put those glasses on 5 times, and now that TV is a freaking relic.
Yep.
In my in-laws' basement. So no, it didn't last. But all I was thinking was is with all those things, right? I saw a rendering, and it was kind of a little bit of an extension of what the power district was going to look like, and it was a little bit more of I went back and just kind of looked at what Big League Utah is doing, and then I saw also a rendering of what I think is it Vanderbilt? No, it's one of the teams that kind of a lower team in the SEC was like. They're spending like basically they're making a mall around their stadium. Sound familiar? Like we've done these kinds of things
Of course, that's
before,
the new thing, yeah.
right? And the whole thing was they're going to make a shopping district, and kind of a whole entertainment district out of the whole thing. I thought, man. So all I could think about is a Major League Baseball team here, an NHL team here, an NBA team here. And then my kid asked me the other day, and it was the first time I didn't actually laugh at him. I wondered. He goes, is there ever going to be a time when the NFL comes to Utah? And I had to really think about it because my thought before always was absolutely not. Not population won't support it. It's not really that, but the population is getting big. This is one of the few places that still grows.
The lack of corporate structure was always an issue. That was the bigger problem.
Are we getting,
the tech
are we
world here
turning
changed everything.
that corner? I say we as the state of Utah.
Yes.
Will there ever be an NFL team here in the state of Utah?
You just need the owner.
Don't we already have one? I mean, honestly.
I mean, if the Miller Group gets the baseball team, they're pretty full with that.
This gives me my would you rather for the day.
Ryan and Ashley, do they need more sports properties, especially an NFL team?
This gives you my would you rather.
I don't know.
If Ryan and Ashley Smith had to sell the Jazz to somebody else for an NFL team, let's say you be Ashley Smith, I'll be Ryan. Honey, I have an opportunity to buy an NFL team, bring it here to Utah, but I have to sell the Jazz and I have to sell the NHL team.
Which team is it?
What was that, sweetie?
Which team is it?
Which NFL team?
Yeah.
It'd be a new one, expansion.
The NFL's expanding to 33 teams?
Los Pioneers. Well, yeah, because there's going to be another one in.
We need more NFL teams, or are they going to get one that relocates?
They're going to put a second one in London. They're going to put one in London, and then they want another one out west.
What division is the team in London going to be
AFC
in?
way east.
The NFC South.
Okay, but do you see what I'm saying? So, but would it be worth Ryan and Ashley Smith giving up ownership of the hockey club or
No.
of the Mammoth and of the Jazz to be able to bring us?
No.
Because they would do it right, though. They'd bring an NFL team here right.
Yeah, but they already had to offload the RSL, all the soccer stuff to. It's too much.
That's what I'm saying.
You spread yourself thin.
That's what I'm saying. You
The
have
more
to sell them
spread
both.
thin you are, the harder it is to focus.
But you sell them both, then you can focus on an NFL team.
But now I'm concerned because the Mammoth are in an incredible spot. The Jazz are building.
See?
What happens to those entities if you sell them off?
You get an NFL team and you get owners that are here still. You kind of just hope that they can see that same vision. It's hard.
The
It's hard
truth
to
with
imagine
NFL
somebody,
ownership is it's rarely anymore is it one person because it takes
Oh, yeah,
billions to get a team.
right? Which is that could get you a franchise fee. That could get you a franchise.
Let me
fee.
just say this: Utah becoming a 4-sports state would be insane. When I say 4 sports, I don't mean to
Would it happen?
offend any of the others.
Okay,
the 4 major North American sports leagues. We know who they are.
You are going to, but you and I are kind of midlife crisis guys right now. Okay, will this happen in our lifetime?
Well, I never thought hockey would, so maybe.
Okay.
I mean, baseball was a pipe dream too, and we might find out here.
You know what's you know who,
in a little bit more than a year that we have a team.
I already know what it is. Because it's already been a transient franchise in a city that doesn't freaking care. You know where I'm going? The Salt Lake City Rams coming to town. Alex, you can cheer
geez.
for them here.
The Chargers would be much more likely than the Rams.
St. Louis would be pissed.
Nobody in Arizona
Angeles
cares
would
about
be
the Cardinals,
pissed.
and we have a lot of success with stealing Arizona teams.
I've thought about that. Don't think I haven't thought about it. All right.
And the Diamondbacks are going to come here too, so
All right.
let's just steal them all.
I want you to start working on some renderings for me. Hey, Annapolis, can you get some 3D renderings going for me?
Hey, if you're going to do a 3D rendering, make sure it has a Ferris wheel in it.
That's exactly right.
Every 3D rendering
They
has to have a Ferris wheel.
It's the eye of Salt Lake City. It's never been done before in any city. Okay.
Except every city waterfront that
I
I've
know.
visited.
They're all, let's put it.
Seattle, Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel.
LA, Ferris wheel.
London,
Ferris wheel.
give me the Ferris wheel. All right. We'll take a break. We got more around the corner. Let's jump in next. We've got some conversations to have about about this team coming to Salt Lake City this weekend. I don't know a dang thing about Scott Satterfield's team except for his quarterback is absolutely overperforming. Scott Springer covers Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Enquirer, who's going to join us next right here at 97.5 BKSL Sports Zone.